Kwanza natoa rambirambi zangu, rambirambi kwa niaba ya Inspector General na sisi wote kikosi ya polisi. Asante sana, mnajua mwenye alifanya hiyo kazi. Kweli rongo.
Hoya guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Rigathi Gachagua is telling us that huyu jamaa William Ruto hawezi kumfire ama huyu jamaa hawezi kuresign. Nono watu wangu. And the main reason why William Ruto he doesn't want huyu Eliud Lagat, ndio yeye amekuwa akizungumza na anaenda kukwekea speech yake. The reason why William Ruto hataki huyu jamaa resign, kitu ya kwanza huyu jamaa anatoka upande wa Rift Valley, and William Ruto akifanya blanda ya kufanya huyu jamaa, then upande wa Rift Valley William Ruto anakosa support. But guys, show me like video ili kuonyesha kwamba una support hii channel. Na kuna hii video guys ya huyu kijana anaitwa Eugene. Wakenya wanasema kwamba government want now to use this young man to make sure ana silence Gen Zs wasirejee tena kuprotest. Unajua 25th of June kumepangwa kwamba kutakuwa na maandamano, and that's why unaona huyu kijana amekuja kwa mtandao telling Kenyans that ama Gen Zs kwamba tukiprotest then itakuwa worse. Hiyo siku itakuwa worse kuliko siku zingine zote ambazo protest zimekuwa zikishuhudiwa hapa nchini Kenya. Kitu ya kwanza guys, kabla tufikia pale, show me like video ili kuonyesha kwamba una support hii channel, na nasema thanks so extensive. Kwa hivyo guys, without wasting time, kitu ya kwanza, Rigathi Gachagua alituambia kwamba William Ruto anatumia wanapolisi vibaya, because now unaona wanapolisi wametumika baada ya huyu Eliud Lagat kuweza kuwa command, mfanye hivi, just finish that guy Albert Ojwang. Then unaona saizi wanapolisi wanashikwa, yeye haguzwi, yeye hazungumzi. Unaona watu wangu,
these leaders know what they want to do. David Muhoro, we are proud of you. As director of CID, your tenure never saw extrajudicial killing. You are our son and we are proud of you. We are proud of you because you are very professional. What we are seeing, moderator, if you allow me, because I'm here, I want to talk to our police officers across the country. You have seen what has happened. Wewe unafuata amri ya mkubwa, unaenda mnapiga mtu mnaua, mkubwa analindwa, wewe unakuwa sacrifice, unaenda kotini. DIG Lagat anakuwa protected by Senate, by National Assembly, by Ruto, by everybody. OCS na ni kabila yake hako kwa bao. Constable anaitwa Mugwana hako kwa bao. I want to tell our police officers, don't obey unlawful orders. Don't carry out illegal instructions. Sindio? Si hao polisi wananisikia? Si wananisikia? Mimi ni mzee. Na mimi si mimi nilikuwa naibu wa William Ruto. Huyo jamaa kwa kuruka wewe ni one touch. So nyinyi, you police officers, hata kama wewe ni kabila ya William Ruto, sio OCS ni kabila yake, amerukwa hajarukwa. I want to ask our police officers to follow 4 documents as they work. The Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Penal Code Chapter 63 of the laws of Kenya, the Criminal Procedure Code CPC Cap 75, and the Evidence Act Cap 80. Those should be your guiding documents. Mkubwa angekuambia kwenda piga mtu, mwambie kuandikia karatasi. Si ndio? Kama hawa watu walitumiwa hapo Central Police Station, walikuwa wamemwambia DIG awaandikie kitu, saa hii wangekuwa kotini. Sasa mkubwa ameruka, hawa wamerukwa, huyo polisi amewacha bibi yake na watoto wanahangaika. So nyinyi polisi mnasikia? Very good. So, and I want to say finally nikimaliza,
And ukiangalia hii speech ya huyu jamaa wakati ambapo alikuwa Narok, utakuja kuona kwamba huyu jamaa anakuanga akizungumza kitu anakuanga amesema kitarget. And that's why unaona wakati ambapo alikuwa ametarget Albert Ojwang alitimiza. Hii ni speech ya huyu Eliud Lagat. Sikiza.
Kwanza natoa rambirambi zangu, rambirambi kwa niaba ya Inspector General na sisi wote kikosi ya polisi, kusema pole sana kwa watu wa upande huu. Mutia kabisa kwa hiyo maneno ya Father Lois. Jana tumekuwa Nandi, tumeona uchungu sana kwa ngwano chei. Lakini sasa nataka kusema namna hii. Viongozi na nyinyi wote mumeongea kabisa. Mumeongea mambo mazuri. Mimi niko na mambo matatu. Ya kwanza, asante sana, mnajua mwenye alifanya hiyo kazi. Kweli rongo? Asante sana. Karibu tumejua. Asante sana, mnajua mwenye alifanya hiyo kazi. Kweli rongo? Asante sana. Karibu tumejua ni nani. Lakini shida ni kwamba ako wapi? Na mnajua vizuri sana. So tusidanganyane, mtusaidie kama polisi. Hatuwezi fanya sisi peke yetu. Mtuambie hawa watu wawili watatu wako wapi? Muko tayari kufanya hivyo? Father will not get justice and people of this place will not get justice kama amtatupatia hawa binadamu. So ninasema hivi, hawa watu mali wako, hata kama hako hapa saizi, enda kando hapo uone polisi ama mtumishi wa serikali, umweleze ni huyu ama nini, ako wapi. Tumeelewana watu wa sehemu hii? So ya pili, banditry hapa, we have largely had peace in this place. When I was the commandant GSU, we deployed enough. Tumekuwa na amani, si ndio? Lakini si ni watu wawili watatu. Kwa nini mnakubali au watu wawili watatu wasumbue sisi? We are not going to allow these very few criminals to disturb us and to give us sleepless nights and to spend resources that could be used in other economic activities. We are not going to accept. Na nafurahi mumekaa hapa siku ya leo. Na hii, what has happened to Father, I want to believe it will be a solution to the peace in this place. Ya tatu, wale wote wanayofanya kazi hapa na watoki upande huu, mimi nataka niwapatie uhakikisho. Walimu, chama ni Akubet, you, the leadership of walimu, I want to give you assurance this afternoon that tumediscuss hata nyinyi wakati mlienda pale, sisi tukakuwa pale, and I want to give you assurance that walimu wote, madaktari, contractors na wale watu watoki sehemu hii tutawapatia security. We will give and provide them enough security. And chairman, hebu angalia pale kuna county police commander Bwana Lucas, Peter Mulinge.
Why do farmers go for expensive credit? It's because they have to wait long.
Baada ya hii, muagree how this thing is going to be actualized. Saizi mtaongea baada ya hii. Tunaelewana chairman? We've agreed you map out areas that you think it's posing some threat. Ndio huyo county commander wangu, and he's under full instructions to provide security for people that don't come to this place. Tumeelewana? So mcooperate tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba wale watu wanatengeneza barabara, madaktari, walimu, wafanyabiashara waweze kukaa kwa amani. Hospitals and all the critical infrastructure are going to be guarded from today. Pamoja. Ugaji nafasi la kwengwang. Sawa sawa? Waziri. Ugaji nafasi. Aiwegasi nagarara na jeke. Chairman ya Kubet. You. The leadership of Walimu. I want to give you assurance this afternoon that tumediscuss hata nyinyi wakati mlienda pale sisi tukakuwa pale. And I want to give you assurance that walimu wote, madaktari, contractors na wale watu watoki sehemu hii tutawapatia security. We will give and provide them enough security. And chairman, hebu angalia pale kuna county police commander. Bwana Lucas.
And that's why Rigathi Gachagua is telling us that huyu jamaa hawezi tolewa pale, because William Ruto knows very well that akitoa huyu jamaa then story ya Rift Valley inaisha. Unaona watu wangu. But now guys, kwa hii video nilikwambia nataka tusikize huyu kijana. Anaitwa Eugene. Anajaribu kuonya vijana. And Kenyans ukiangalia kwa comments wanasema kwamba huyu kijana anajaribu kutumiwa na government ili silence agencies.
You're saying that it's like you're defending Eliud Lagat. We want to know the reason why you feel like he should not be blamed on this case of Albert Ojwang.
It's not like we are trying to defend him. We like, most of the time we Kenyans, we look at the emotional part of anything, not the factual part of it. Each and every person has gone to the police station maybe to launch a complaint. When you launch a complaint, you expect due diligence, due investigations to be done. So that is what exactly Mr. Lagat had done in his own capacity as a complainant. He does not have control of the central police station. And that's why we've seen the members of the Kenya police having given a press statement to have officers interdicted. And those who have been involved also, they have been arraigned in court. So I think it is a time to call for calm. Saying the DIG to resign is not call for accountability. We need justice for the family. We need a peaceful country. But we cannot say we are seeking for justice when at the same time we're also trying to obstruct the same justice by saying this individual, the complainant, should be the one to already resign. So I think we as Kenyans, we should be on the forefront to call for justice as we are. But we should be steadfast to know making the deputy IG to resign will not solve the issues at hand. If you look at it, the DCI has also given reasons why he does not feel like the DIG was involved in this matter. And everything points to Central Police Station. So as much as we want to look at the emotional part of it, yes, he was wrongly killed, and we are calling and demanding for justice. However, justice has to follow all due processes. So we are not saying that Mr. Lagat is innocent. All we are saying is let the government institutions do their due diligence without interference from external forces, by having people to organize demos to make sure the due diligence is not followed just for rushy decisions whereby Mr. Lagat has been told to resign, which is not a sustainable solution. Yeah.
So what do you think should be done for the family to get their justice? Because already, according to how you're trying to explain, what do you think should be done?
What I think is, in Kenya we have laws. We have institutions that work for us. We have the DCI, we have the courts, and the suspect has already been arraigned in court. The only way all these, the family can get justice is if the case has been taken to court, which is already in court. Some people have been already charged with this matter. So it is just for us to be calm and wait for the due process that will be done in court. That is the only way. I can't say we can do an eye for an eye. It is only for us to be patient as a nation, as young people. Yes, we agree. This was untimely death of Albert Ojwang. However, we have to follow the laws of our country and embedded in our Constitution 2010. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the late John's arrest is highly related to the post he had made about the DIG.
Yeah.
And a lot of youths are calling for
him to step aside for the investigations to happen. I think you're leaving aside that part that his arrest was as a result of a post he had made about the DIG. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, that's what I've said. A complaint was lodged, and this complaint was about misuse of computer as per the Cybercrimes 2018 laws. However, we are saying, coming out with the chance to say the resignation of the DIG is the way to go is prudent. That is not the way we are going to solve the issues happening in this country.
But do you think it's kind of part of helping the family to get justice? Since his name, Lagat'S, is already in this mix.
It is not. It won't. Having the DIG resign won't help the family get justice. The thing that will help the family get justice if due diligence, due investigation is done, and important, or rather those who were involved are taken to court. They are arraigned in court so that we can know what really transpired. Trying to shift blames to say the DIG or the IG, they will call for the resignation of the DIG. Then they will come for the resignation of the IG. Then they'll call for the resignation of the president. So that is not the trajectory we need to take. We have to know why are they calling for the resignation of the Deputy Inspector General. If you're very keen, all this began with headlines on newspapers. We have had a couple of headlines trying to paint a different image towards the Deputy Inspector General. But within no time, it led to this case. So that's why many people think he is a person of interest, just the mere fact that he is a complainant. Lakini wewe kama ukipeleka ukiwa umeripoti mtu katika police station, wewe una mamlaka katika kwenda katika hiyo police station kama mwananchi, kwa sababu the moment you lodge a complaint unakuwa kama mwananchi wa kawaida, unaacha kuwa kama DIG. So huwezi kuwa alikufia kule ambako alikuwa ameshikwa, then now we blame the complainant. Haiwezi kuwa hivyo. Naam.
Amazing. Yesterday, the budget was read, and also we had protest. I'd like to know, what's your take on this, or the whole thing, the protest and also the budget?
I really would like to call for calm amongst our young people, because we are headed in the wrong direction. We can't be thinking the only way to solve the issues happening in the country is through violence, through protests, through demonstrations. Yes, these has been ways that have been there for far too long. However, in this generation, we have to look at it from a different perspective. We have to look from a point of how are we going to address our issues without going to the streets. Because if we go to the streets, properties, yesterday some of the people's cars were torched. So we don't want a country to go back to anarchy. If we really want to advocate for what is right, we have many things we can do as per our constitution instead of calling for protest. Last year, there were massive protests calling for the finance bill. If we look at it, majority of the young people lost their lives. So we are not going to go the same trajectory to take young people out for few commercial activists to benefit and others to lose. Majority of our fathers and mothers will miss their kids because we have tried to make it look like these kids should go to the streets and get justice. However, we might not get justice through those means. We have to use the courts. We have to know in this country we have the laws of the land. So it is better and prudent to follow the Constitution 2010 that was promulgated in 2010 on 28th August. Yeah.
But Eugene, youth or young people are fighting for their rights, and I think protest is one of the ways to fight for our rights. So maybe when you say it's not okay for them to go on the street and fight for their rights, what should they do?
You see, there are many constitutional ways to do this. I'm not saying protest is a bad way, or rather it's not constitutional. All I'm saying is we've had people who have done protests before, and the country has not moved forward. We've had the likes of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, who has been using these demonstrations, protests since in the 1990s. Nothing of substance has changed in the country. That's why we are seeking other alternative measures, whereby we can advocate for our own grievances by taking people to court, by trying to protests are not like we should not do protests, but we should not do protests that lead up to violence. We should do peaceful protests across the country. Unlike unapata magari za watu zinachomwa, unapata vioo za maduka za watu zinavunjwa, unapata the dustbins in Nairobi CBD were destroyed. So tusianze kufanya maandamano kama hayo. Tunaweza fanya maandamano kama vijana. There are walks that happen. So we should not say like this is the only way we are going to solve the issues we have, yet we are trying to destroy other people's businesses and lives. Yeah.
One last question for me. Right now, we are already having circulations of posters for the 25th of this month.
Yeah.
A couple of youths are saying they are returning to the streets. What do you have to say about this?
Returning to the streets, we were there last year. Nothing substantive happened for the young people.
So you believe nothing has been done?
I believe little has been done.
Okay.
The reason why I believe so is we went to the streets. Look at the people who got those positions. They are not young people. Look at the people who are trying to benefit from the Gen Z uprising. They are not young people. So I'm telling young people, we are not going to be collaterals every now and then. We only go to the streets and let others benefit. We should go to the streets when we know very well this is the way we are going to benefit as young people. If you remember in 2005, when young people said they don't want Kibaki, they want a yes or no campaign, we ended up with the Ministry of the Youth. If you remember in 2012-2013, when the young people said they want reforms in the youthful space, there was National Youth Council. But what happened after the 2024 protest? We had nothing. The same way it happened in 1992, when the young people of this country were abrasive, they did not want anything to do with Moi. There was the repeal of Section 2A. So we should not just do protests for the sake of doing protests, but we have to do protests that will end up with policy change in the country, that will end up having bills in parliament, not just for us to be on the streets to make it look like we've been on the streets. Demonstrations will lead to the loss of life for the young people. Our mothers are already languishing in abject poverty. We as young people, we are unemployed. We as young people, we don't have a lot of things to do. So going to the streets is not helping us create those opportunities for ourselves. However, we have many approaches we can use to advocate for our grievances and rights for the young people and push for what is needed. For instance, the budget was read yesterday. More than 100 billion has been allocated for the young people, for the youth empowerment. How are we going to take advantage of these opportunities? There is money that has been allocated for Nyota. So it is for us, the young people, to look at the opportunities in government, to look at the opportunities anywhere else, to take advantage of them. Not trying to be the ones used to insult others, not to be the ones to do smear campaigns. Because right now we are doing a smear campaign to Mr. Lagat. But the moment all this is done, we, the young people, will go back to our cocoons, whereby our cocoons of our unemployment. We'll go back to our cocoons of being broke without anything. So it is for us. It is for a call for justice. However, justice alone without empowerment, it will hit a dead hand. So that's why I urge majority of the young people, instead of thinking of June 25th of going back to the streets, how about we as young people on the same day, we organize even a walk. And this walk, it is only to call for the policies. We have people working for the government who are above even 35 years of age. So we can use that day to call for actionable things that can happen in this government, where young people get an opportunity. Not just to go there to demonstrate, not just to go there to have contact spot with the police. No, these are our brothers, these are our sisters, and this country belongs to all of us. If we keep on trying to use violence as the avenue, our neighbors are in war, Sudan is in war, Somalia is in war, so we don't want our country to plunge into chaos. It is for us as young people to know, without a proper delegation, without proper policies, we are not going to achieve what we all want. So we must criticize any other form of violence, because those who lose lives si watu wazee, ni sisi vijana tunapoteza maisha, na kwenda kwa njia kila saa tutaendelea kupoteza maisha na hawa wazee wakiendelea kufaidika. So ningeomba sana vijana, hiyo tarehe wanasema itakuwa ni holiday, tusijitokeze kuleta vurugu, tusijitokeze kuleta maandamano. Maandamano haijabadilisha maisha yetu kama vijana. Maandamano imekuwa ikitumika, lakini sisi kama vijana hatujafaidika. Njia za kufaidika ni kwamba bajeti imesomwa. Tuangalie kuna nini ya vijana katika hiyo bajeti. Tuangalie kuna maofisi gani ya serikali ambayo watu ambao wako katika hizo maofisi ni wazee. Ukiangalia the State Department of the Youth, watu wangapi wakapo ambao ni vijana? Haiwezi kuwa this is the State Department of the Young People, yetu watu wakapo ni wazee. So ningeomba sana vijana, we will be programmed to follow things that will not solve the unemployment menace. We'll be programmed to follow things that are nonsensical. So we have to look what is important and what is not important, not to waste time on protest, yet ni sisi tunazeeka na wale ambao wanatuambia tufanye maandamano au wametengeneza pesa yao ama wako na kazi katika hizi serikali. Naam. Wazalendo Movement Africa condemns in the strongest terms the tragic and gruesome death of Albert Ojwang at Central Police Station. This unfortunate incident is deeply saddening and has understandably caused widespread concern and unrest across the nation. We acknowledge the swift action taken by the Kenya Police Service, resulting in the arrest of a suspect who has been taken to court and arraigned for the charges of murder. This decisive move demonstrates a commitment to accountability and the rule of law. We call upon all Kenyans, especially our youths and commercial activists or all activists concerned, to remain calm and refrain from any acts of violence or anarchy. Violence and destruction of property only serve to deepen social wounds, threaten lives, and undermine the stability we all seek. Wazalendo Movement Africa urges the youth, who are the backbone of our nation, to exercise restraint and seek peaceful avenues for expressing their concern. On the matter of the 2025-2026 financial national budget, recently presented by the Cabinet Secretary Honorable Mbadi, we as Wazalendo Movement Africa recognizes the effort to make to include and benefit the youth. We encourage young people to take full advantage of the opportunities embedded in the budget, especially those aimed at economic empowerment and innovation. In particular, we emphasize the importance of engaging in smart agriculture and climate action initiatives. These sectors present viable pathways for sustainable growth, environmental conservation, and improved livelihoods. The youth should seize these opportunities to drive Kenya's future towards resilience and prosperity. Regarding the calls for the resignation of the Deputy Inspector General, Mr. Eliud K. Lagat, CBS, OGW, HSC, we as Wazalendo Movement Africa firmly rejects demands for his resignation without substantiated evidence. Mr. Lagat has exhibited exemplary leadership and dedication to reforming and strengthening the Kenya Police Service. Rather than the resignations, what we need is accountability anchored in truth and justice. Mr. Lagat showed humility and utmost belief in the due process by launching a formal complaint. Let this due process go to the end uninterrupted so that the truth may come out clearly. Wazalendo Movement Africa stands for justice, peace, accountability, and responsible leadership. We urge all Kenyans to trust in due process and support law enforcement to carry out thorough investigations without bias or prejudice. Let us come together as a nation, uphold the rule of law, and work collectively towards a Kenya that is safe, just, and prosperous for all. We are Wazalendo Movement Africa, striving to green Africa.